Previously, on the Power Up Man Roundtable discussion, we tackled the topic of relationship roles.
A lot of times when you get bringing the physical aspect of it, you don't really get a chance to really know the person before you bring in that one aspect.
You want somebody who can give you a combination of things. Love, companionship, friendship.
And a lot of times what we need don't always come in the package that we want.
And now, part 2, the conclusion of relationship roles.
The one thing that I kind of disagreed with the Kevin Samuel thing was the high value deal. Like, I am a person who believes in having the finer things in life. I believe in being comfortable. I do know that this is a stopover life. I'm saying the physical life is a stopover because eternity, our spirit is going to live for eternity. That's where we have to have a lot of our concentration on at what happens when we leave here. But I do believe that we should have a comfortable life as well while we're here. However, it's fine to have nice things. It's fine to be a high achiever, but don't let the high achievement and the things have you.
That's right.
So when you're having a mate and you're picking someone to be with that you're going to spend your life with, here in the physical, make sure you have a clear understanding of goals and expectations from your mate. Because guess what? Yeah, I can say this, and I'm not ashamed. Trials and tribulations come. There is a guarantee.
Inevitable.
It says it in the word. You're going to have them. Most people who are successful, unless you're a trust fund baby, that you were born rich. But if you're self-made and you worked and pulled yourself up by your own bootstraps, having some failure is a part of the equation. But what is failure? I call it being hit in the mouth, meaning having some sort of disappointment, meaning maybe things didn't go the way you thought they should, having to take some steps backwards, going through a desert, going through a trying time. All of these things are development pieces that make you successful, make you more. I wouldn't be the man I am now if I had not gone through some of the things that I've gone through. Okay?
Absolutely.
I was blessed to be able to make some great amounts of money in my early 30s, which made me prideful. I had to be reset from being a prideful person to be who I am now, to be humble enough to do what we're doing now, to be a better husband. Yeah, I don't have it all figured out, but I'm a better guy, I truly believe, than I was in my 30s, during my first marriage. However, in choosing your mate, it's so important to be on the same page as it relates to this stuff that we accumulate here in the physical. You can be a high achiever, but make sure that you don't get a person who's just all about your achievements and all about your stuff. Because what happens if you go through a dry time or you go into one of those valleys? Will that person be there with you to come help you fight through? Or will they walk away and leave you in that valley? Right? So guess what? If that's all you have is the commonality between you all is the stuff, then you have nothing. Because stuff comes and goes. What happens? There are some things that money can't solve. When we leave here, what mark did you make? No one's gonna care about what automobile you had or what stuff you accumulated. I had a conversation today with my financial planners, and one guy on the team said, "Hey, what legacies are you gonna leave?" And he wasn't talking about monetary. Are you spiritually based? Are you gonna leave the legacy to your children to understand faith, the faith piece that you've used in your life to get you through? Mm-hmm. Is that a legacy you're going to leave to the people who loved you? When you usually say legacy, people are usually going to equate that to some monetary stuff. Mm-hmm. But it's really not. It's really a mindset. What is going to be the mark you're going to leave here with? So I'm saying all that for the ones who are currently looking for a mate, like men and women. Yeah. Don't base that on stuff. Right. Now, hold that thought. I do want to say I'm an old school thought guy and thought process. My love language is to provide for my family and my wife. I love to spoil my significant other. I'm the guy who believes in taking care of all of the bills and stuff around the house. But that may not be the dynamic in other people's relationship. They may want to go 50-50 or whatever it is that works for them. But whatever that dynamic is, be truthful to the person that you're interested in. Be truthful. Have these discussions while you're dating.
Despite all of the things that you might bring, all of the materialistic things that you might bring with you, your legacy, in many times, is not based on what you brought to the table. It's not based on the house. It's not based on the car. It's based on your transgressions. And all the time, and most of the time, the person that means the most to you might not forgive you for your transgressions. So the legacy that you have led sometimes to your kids, to your companion, is based on things, your mistakes in life. The mistakes that you made. You made a mistake. You asked for forgiveness. But sometimes down the road, they'll be saying, oh, he was a great man. He brought, all these things. Smart man. Oh, he was intelligent. And he had all this and that. But he was a dirty dog. He was a cheating scoundrel. So a lot of times you could do so much good, but just that little bit of bad can destroy your legacy. So I just pray that when you choose a mate out there in the dating world and you're on that internet, find somebody, and it's real easy. Because when you get off of that rap or that favorite song, or when you're not so excited and you sit down and you start to pray before your food, or you just want to pray with your companion, but they're not interested in praying. They still want to dance. They still want to party. Oh, it's easy when you're having fun, but how about when you get down and the rubber meets the road?
Yeah.
Will that be somebody who's going to stand by them prayers?
Right.
Is that somebody going to forgive you for your transgression? Right. Don't expect to be forgiven and you keep doing the same old dumb stuff. If you truly a dog, then you're not worthy of nobody.
Right.
So as we move forward financially, and we all have done well as we've gone through our life, did we also move forward spiritually? And did you take your companion with you spiritually?
That's right.
That one that you fell in love with her body. Did you pray with her?
Yes.
Start praying with them when you're dating them.
Consider the spirituality of the person that you're interested in. Like, do they believe? If you're a believer, you definitely need to have a person that's a believer as well. Because I'm going to tell you, in life, there's trials and tribulations. You're going to need that person. You're going to need that support mechanism. You're going to need that support. You got to have somebody who, when times get tough, that you can count on. And
that they know the cheat code. They know the cheat code.
Yeah.
If they don't know the cheat code, you in a world of trouble.
You're in a world of trouble.
And even in terms of relationship and marriage, it's also a cheat code, because as long as you got the Holy Spirit and you have the Bible that you both believe in, you always have that doctrine to come back to find that line. Baseline. But for those that don't or choose not to have that particular religion, and if they have another religion, they may have another baseline they can go to.
Right.
But there are people out here that don't have anything.
That's right.
And then they wonder how they can resolve their issues, but they don't have an agreeing doctrine,
Right.
to bring them both back to the carpet.
Right.
That would have been the reason for their union in the first place. So that's why us around the table here as believers, speaking out to anyone that's listening to us as believers,
That's right.
we have what we feel is a cheat code because we have a doctrine that we all agree to.
That's right.
That's why we're here. But you have to be able to find that partner that agrees in that believes in that. And like you said, pray together, grow together.
That's right.
And then you can always come back and find that common denominator right there to pull things back in versus he says, she says. And they can always disagree forever, but it's like, what did he say? And then you get back on line.
One thing about it is that in a marriage, you're either growing together or growing apart. Mm-hmm. And so what's happened, I found out in my own marriage, is that we have, through the real tough stuff that we've, been having to face, we've grown together. Mm-hmm. We pray a lot more together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At a drop of a dime.
So them trials and tribulations brought you together.
That's right.
For mature men, men of God,
Right.
what drives, like Stan, you're single and you Ram and Keith, you guys probably had some type of disjointment and you went on to the second marriage.
Right.
What drives a man to, when they're dating, to, and they find somebody, they got a regular companion to say, yeah, this is the one that I want to be with from now on, even if it's not about, children?
So you're asking that question?
That is a question I'm posing to both a single man and for when you guys were making your second
What
decision.
drove me? What was the driving force?
The driving
Well,
force.
for me, it's quite easy because I'm a guy who now this is me. Even when I was in high school, I've always had companions. I think you become a product of what you see. And, in my family, there weren't a lot of single people in my family. My mom and dad were together. All I saw was couples. And I saw couples that worked together and they went through stuff, but they persevered and went through it. Mm-hmm. So for me, of course, once I was damaged goods when I came out of my first marriage, once I got myself back together, emotionally, I picked up, and you were right there. You were watching the whole thing. I was dating, and once I got my mojo back, I'm going to call it. After a while, I was beat down from like all of the meeting and greeting and getting to know this one and telling the same story over and over again and breaking the ice and then going through the 30-day or the 90-day period until you figure out that that's not what you want and starting all over again. I just got tired and said, hey, Lord, you know what? Bring me what I need. Someone who loves me unconditionally, good, bad, money, no money, trial, tribulation, peak, or valley. And he pretty much brought that. I got it. Because my wife does love me unconditionally so far, I've seen. And I believe that truly because we've gone through some trials and tribulations since we've been together.
And it wasn't all good when y'all started.
No, it was in turmoil with, we had financial challenges because I was just trying to rebuild. We went through financial stuff. We went through growing pains with one another. I still had my girls, so it was blended, kind of like blended family stuff going on. So we went through trial and error. And so we dated for a long time before I actually got married. But that was my driving force.
But a lot of men are fearful because they had such a bad first letdown marriage that they are reluctant. And I hear the men saying all the time, well, I'm not going back that way again. But what drove you after you had been through that trauma and first interactions to decide to reunite?
For me, my whole thing was trying to make sure I wasn't damaged goods. I didn't remain, damaged goods. But just went through my process, allowed the Lord to, heal me from all those wounds. And coming out of it, for me, I really didn't want to date. My thing was that I prayed for my wife, and the Lord, He blessed me. It's because I'm a better man, because of my wife. Of course, because of the Lord, but He blessed me with her.
So you're saying you withdrew and had periods of celibacy before you found your second wife?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
Which might be just the opposite of maybe what Keith, because he's used to being.
Because I felt, the reason being is because I felt like if I were to do, I guess, what would be the fleshly thing to do, basically, okay, well, I got hurt in my first one, so let me just go out here and just,
wreck everybody else.
Yeah.
Wreak havoc.
Just go out here and wreak havoc and just, have a bunch of sex and all that stuff.
Right.
I knew that wasn't the answer. I knew that wouldn't make me happy. I knew that wouldn't make me feel better. I knew that wasn't it.
But admirable.
Even that's a process, because it wasn't like it was just automatic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Think about it. How many times you pray for something, you ask the Lord for something, and He takes you through a process. A lot of times it's not just like that.
No, it's always a process.
He takes you through a process.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's
right.
like, okay, you pray for it, and then it's like, for instance, say you pray for patience.
Right.
He gonna put you in situations that
where you gonna require patience. Training exercise.
That's right. Training.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Because He won't have you out there ill-equipped. So He's got to train you and make you battle tested.
That's right.
Now, one of the things that I know I had problems with when I was 33 and making that decision, and I know, Stan, you're a mature man at this point, been through a few things. It always challenged me. So what's going to push you to the edge where you can say, this is my lifetime companion?
Good question, because I think if and when it happens, then we'll know. But
Lord help us here. Lord help us.
Good answer, Stan.
But
quick on his toes, man. Quick on his feet.
That's how it happens. But my expectational thought would be, my prayers have been similar to what Keith's have been in terms of that unconditional thing. Because my family is real big on love and being able to show that, express that in relationships with people, not based on their relationship to other people, but based on their soul. Based on caring if they're going to love Christ and be able to, get through life and get to the afterlife. So by me being raised in that kind of family, when I meet people, I see their heart right away. And I can have an issue with being able to be comfortable with someone's heart that's closed, because I've been around such a Christ-like hearted family, right, on my mom's side, and where that's really genuinely what they want for you. They want for you to get to the kingdom. Right. It's not about whether it works out romantically with my nephew or my son or my cousin. It's really about that. So when I'm actually dating a person, their acts of service is my love language, and that really, really plays effect on me.
So I think that it's hard for you. Mm-hmm. It's difficult for you to find a person equally yoked in the heart being correct, in their spirituality, in their spirit.
That's
Am I right? That's rare.
Correct.
All this what we're talking about is not the normal type conversation for people when they're talking about dating. Yeah. And people will say it is because it sounds good, and you'll meet people in church or whatever, but that's not really how they roll.
That's what I'm finding.
They'll say it. Yeah. They'll be all super hypers. And it's actually, it's sad to say, when I would find women who are, I call them hyper spiritual. Yeah. They were the worst.
True.
Yeah.
And that's terrible.
Unfortunately.
But that's the way it is.
That's real. Yeah.
So you grow leery of the person who is perpetrating and giving you the song and dance. Like Kevin Samuels gave that song and dance, all his relationship stuff, everybody buying in, And then what we end up with, a mess. Now, who believed anything that he said? And I still like to listen to what he said.
Well, he had some validity in some of the stuff he said. I'm going to say the one thing I agree with him on is this. When it comes to like the high value scenario, meaning men who earn a certain amount, has a certain circle, has a certain amount of connections, have been earning a certain amount of money. I think he had in Atlanta was $10,000. You know, that's the baseline, $10,000 a month. That's the baseline for Atlanta based on the economy and cost of living, blah, blah, blah. A lot of times you find women, and I have been saying this for a long time. There are some women out there that has put themselves on this, and all women should put themselves on a pedestal to be a lady. Okay, let me say that. Okay, and I'm not going to negate the fact that all women, it's the natural order of things for a woman to find a mate who is capable of taking care of them. That's right on. I want my daughters to marry someone who's capable of taking care of them. However, I'm not going to sign off on my wife running around and chasing after guys who are, as he put it, high value guys. And that's all you're looking at is how much they make and what they have. But they're looking for a guy here, but they're only bringing this. And I'm not talking money all the time either, because I don't care about what my wife makes. I don't care about that because I'm taking care of her. Okay? That's me. That's not everybody.
You taking care of her financially.
Yes. So that's me. Not everybody's on the same dynamic. But I agree with him when it's okay for a woman to call guys scrubs or whatever. Or, okay, if a guy's a scrub, I'm against guys being a scrub. But what are you calling a scrub?
Right.
I don't think a guy is a scrub when he works a job. He's working 40, 50 hours a week. He's working every day. He's doing something. Okay. He works at a warehouse. He drives a forklift. He drives a truck or works in a restaurant, but he's working. He's constantly working. Okay. I'm calling a scrub a guy who won't work. Yeah, I said it. I'm like, I said, if you don't work and you're lazy and you won't work, then yes, I consider you a scrub now. But I'm saying, I think a lot of women look over men who could be a great companion for them, who they could get together and combine, they could do some great things together, and they could grow into, you just don't know how you're going to be blessed. I said it earlier, but they'll look over a guy because he may be driving I don't know, not disrespecting her, he may drive your average Honda Accord. Okay, I'm gonna say Honda Accord. I mean, but
that's a good car.
That's a good car, but not for some women.
Give me a car.
Well, it's a good car, but not for some women. Because some women, if you're not driving a Benz, if you're not driving a high end luxury car, then now it's not good enough. So I disagree with that.
And let's be clear too, because I feel like that's something within our culture, black culture, that it is unfortunately gone wild with in terms of trying to judge a book by its cover based on what a person wearing, what they have on their wrist, their neck, what they driving, all of that stuff, where most people know they're pretty wealthy people. They don't try to show you.
Nope.
But it's in the bank.
That's right.
But they may be driving by in the raggediest car, eat at some of the cheapest restaurants.
That's right. But that doesn't mean that they're not capable.
And they got the money behind it, but they ain't going to show it to you because what they trying to get robbed for.
And the person flaunting it, he might be living paycheck to paycheck.
The perpetrator.
Just the perpetrator.
Yeah, he's renting.
He's faking it until he's making it.
And might not ever make it.
And getting all the cuties.
And you know what I'm saying? Well, no.
Yeah, hold on. There was a relative of mine. He was actually dating this girl. You know, she's white collar. He's blue collar. He's good, great money or whatever. Still blue collar. She wanted a white collar guy.
Right, she didn't want blue collar. Even though he was a high value guy.
Good guy, all that stuff.
Right.
Didn't work out. The next relationship she got in was with a white collar guy. This guy he checked all the boxes and everything,
Right.
She was like, that's him, you know what I mean?
Right.
Guy was abusive. put his hands on her.
Yeah, beat her like he owed her money.
Did.
Like she owed him money.
So when that ended, you know what she did when that ended.
Now go back to the other guy.
She
went back to the blue collar guy.
Went back to my relative.
Right.
And tried to get back with him.
But no, he was gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's right.
That's the part that I agree with him on. Don't necessarily chase after the stuff.
Yeah.
Here we go again. Don't look at the stuff. Because if you get with the right guy, you could probably get stuff.
See, the thing is, like
but you got to be patient.
My relative, he was making, they probably made about the same money.
As the white collar guy.
Yeah, he just, just blue collar, not white collar.
I just watched it, and I hate to keep going. Where on the podcast, he was saying there's some guys. Okay, there's 3 guys in suits standing there, right, suited up. Nothing against being suited up. So 3 guys in suits. 1 guy's not in a suit. He's in jeans and a polo shirt, or less relaxed wear. They'll laugh at the guy that's not suited, but the guy that's not suited is the highest earning guy in the group. This dude owns a plumbing company.
Yeah.
Like this dude drives a truck. Like he said that he kept saying that guy. He's not driving a Benz. He's driving a 2500 or a dually. He's driving a truck. Right.
Making money with it.
Making hundreds and hundreds or millions, right? But he's not presenting.
That's right.
The picture that someone has in their mind of what the corporate white collar guy looks like, right? So guess what? But even though, now this is the sad part. Even if they do know that this guy is a high earner, because he doesn't fit what they think it looks like, they still won't pick that guy. That's what I agree with him on. I agree with a lot of women are single. A lot of people aren't getting good mates that God probably has set aside or sent to them because they're looking at the wrong stuff. They're looking at stuff. You're looking at the outer. They're not paying attention to the inner. And they could probably have a great life with this person.
But that's how I thought, I think, over time, because I'm sure that wasn't how it was in the 50s.
No,
60s,
this has just
40s,
happened over the last
30s. Yeah, because you knew then, like, you're looking for substance. I'm looking for someone that's really going to help fill me.
Right.
And vice versa. So, yeah, he's probably going to be the one to go out, be able to get jobs and work, probably more so than the average black woman at that particular time. But at the same time, they're going to be able to fill each other's voids of what they're not able to do to be able to protect the family as a whole.
That's right.
Now that society has done what it's been able to do, and there's this competition of,
there you go.
We equals.
We're equals.
When it comes to being paid the same, and it comes to like, I can do any job that you can do, this and that. But now, once we go home, I need you to pay all the bills. I need you to pull out the chair. I need you to, buy me the purse, the bags I want, all this and that. But I also just fought for equal everything.
That's right.
At the workspace.
That's right.
So that's when we talk in relationship roles, because there are some gender roles that unfortunately culture has been able to confuse to allow the two people to work together.
That's right.
Where God set it up so that we would work together.
That's right.
We would need and lean on each other.
That's right.
One of the things I always say is God gave us a back, right? And I used to say that for our back, and Ram, try to touch the middle of your back with your arm. Can you get up there?
No.
Me neither.
Can't do it.
That's probably the only space on his body that he can't make sure that he can clean as well as any other part of his body. Now, he got a wife. She can get to his back and have his back better than he can by himself.
That's right.
So the whole time while he was living single like me, yeah, you got a back, you cleaning it, but I can't make sure it's good by myself.
That's right.
God let me know from that point that we need somebody.
That's right. You're not designed to be by yourself.
You're not designed to be by yourself.
That's right.
So for that, we supposed to be able to fluidly be with each other, have each other's back, truly make sure his back is clean, washed, and vice versa for his wife. That's how we supposed to be in life, not competing. But we at a point in where we're competing, and folks want to feel like, I don't need you. I could do this by myself. You in my life because I just want somebody to lay with. And the companionship is much more than that. You got to be able to feel the need to want to bond together and then be fulfilled. That's why you feel better whole as married. You feel better whole as married, and you the same. You know? So when people can realize that, we can really then get the blessing that God wants for us.
That's right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's some good stuff, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, I hope you all are getting something from this, man. Boy, we could get on this thing. We just heating up on this thing, man. We're just heating up on it. Great. And I didn't say it, but see, there's different perspectives, different lenses, but it goes back to the same baseline. You look, it's good to have somebody in your life. God designed for us to have someone in your life to be a compatible mate, to have someone to love you, watch over you, care for you, and care for one another. It's designed that way. I'm not saying that you're not, if you don't have someone, that you're any less, that you're not as good. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I think, and I really do feel that we're designed to have that unity. And I think there's blessings in that. I know that there's blessings in that. It's not that I think, I know that there's blessings in that. We always talk about, in doing what we're doing, is to help someone to become a better version of what God created, a better version of themselves, and be what God created them to be. But guess what? I think having the right mate makes that happen as well. Or it helps facilitate that happening, so you can live your best and fullest life.
That's right.
A lot of times we make a decision and we do something on our own because we're young and just didn't know any better, to not pray for the person that you have, right? So sometimes you may have may have not made the right decision as to who to be with. But that's why this content is so important, because if you didn't know it, now you got a chance to know it, right? Don't make the decision in your life. Don't have your life, your career here, your private life here, and then your spiritual life over here. Doesn't work that way. It's all got to work together. Go to the Lord and ask for his help in everything that you do. Ask that he show himself in everything that you do. Ask that you can, don't separate it. Don't separate it. You have to have it all ingrained together, because we can't do and make the right decisions on our own. We can't go through life on our own. I'm not even talking about even with a mate, because even with your mate, you gotta have the Lord in your life. I'm just telling you, I've tried to do it without him, and it didn't work out very well for me.
That's right.
So with that being said, man, I think this is something that we can expand and talk about even more in the future. I think this is a great conversation, because guess what? I think there's so many people lost. I think there's so many people that's not living their best life because of lack of information. And then the heaviness of wrong information out here. Our capitalist society that we currently live in actually has painted a very bad picture, and have everybody's focused on the wrong things, which is causing some problems. But I think with the help of people out here that's telling the truth, talking about taking the mask off, being real with yourself, knowing who you are, again, we always go back to that. That can make you a better mate and help you make the better decision and have you looked at differently to potential mates out there. Even if you're in a situation, let's even go there. If you're in a marriage, in a relationship, it will make it better by being real, having the Lord in your life, putting him first in that. So all that being said, man, I hope that somebody was able to get something out of this. I think we've brought up some really great points, man, from different perspectives. And this is going to be something we're going to discuss a little further in some more episodes. And with that being said, man, we appreciate everybody. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And give us some content, give us some feedback on what you thought about what we talked about here. Give us some comments. We would like to get some real commentary going back and forth as it relates to this subject matter. And as we always say at the end of all of our productions, man, say thanks a lot. We're going to say power up, baby. Power up. Coming back at you with some more content. Power up, man. We out. We're doing a round table discussion. My boy's here again. My boy who? Right here. Got my boy here.
Get it, Rambo. Yeah, we about to hit you with some hard-hitting content right now.
Yeah, man.
Relationship roles.